The effect I want the studio to have on people is when they walk past or they drive past, it looks like a dream. And when they come in to experience clay, to really try to awaken their creativity. Hi, I'm Kevin. So right now you're in my studio, Studio SF. Studio SF stands for Studio Shun Fu, which is my wife's and my name in Chinese. So we are right beneath the void deck in Bedok. Small little 19 square meter kiosk. So we turn it into a pottery studio where we make our crafts and sell them here. We do also conduct some classes for the neighborhood, for the community to come by, have a feel about how pottery is, what we do, and really make their own handmade products. So this place opened in November 2024. I used to stay in a HDB flat and I used to make pottery at home. So when I sit down and make my pottery, usually my mom's is on my left. So I would look at that direction and then she will be there. She will come by, poke at my objects. So after she passed, keep looking at the space and hey, not there anymore. I don't think I can continue there. So this vase is my favorite piece. Why is it my favorite? Because the last vase that my mom saw me piece. I used it for a funeral and so it's her vase. We only put it up there and we don't use it. So on the day that I sold the place, this place came out for bidding. I looked at the floor plan and I decided I'm going to bid for this. Then I got it. I never thought I could get into pottery. During one of my birthdays, my wife wanted to get me a pottery package. It was during COVID, then I went to learn. My first lesson, I thought, hey, quite nice, quite a good feeling. The medium itself is very comforting when you touch it, very therapeutic. After about 4 or 5 lessons, then I decided maybe I should continue. So I went on for about maybe 80 over lessons. So this is my first piece of pottery I made in the studio. Small little trinket dish. So when people come to me for the first lesson, I made them do this too. So it's the first lesson for everyone. I really love the feeling of working with clay. I love it. I mean the texture of clay rubbing against your hand. The mutual respect you need to have with the clay. You treat it with respect, then the clay will kind of, today I let you do this to me. Every day we get humbled by the clay lah. The teaching that I do here is more like an experiential kind of session. The main goal of the session is not really to go deep into pottery, really for them to have a feel of the medium. So most of them, when they touch clay, they like that. They're like, wow, such a nice feeling. So what I really want this studio to be is really the center of this community where people can come here to really try to awaken their creativity. I had a group that came earlier on, 5 packs. They are from, I think, upstairs. So in my studio, the seniors that come here, if they're above 75, is free. So it's his family thing, then the senior came. So the grandfather came and sat down, and then he was like, "Oh my God, but jiu kwa bo." Then the family was urging him on. Then we tell him, "Don't worry, you can try." They pitched a small little dish. Then he wrote his name. Then he got very happy. Then he wanted to make another one. In the end, I think he made 3. 94 years old. Just make something simple, paint. So it's really heartening when I see them brighten up when they touch clay. So my wife and I are very close to the seniors in our family, and we kind of like engaging seniors. Then my wife and I were pleasantly surprised that there's an active aging center nearby, like 50 meters. I went over to that center and I spoke to them, asked them, are they interested to do some programs? Then of course they asked me about charges and all. Then I told them the charges are very minimal. It doesn't matter, I just come here, engage the community, work with the seniors, which is our passion. So after that, we decided, hey, why not we just try to reach out to other networks of active aging center. So we reached out to NTUC Health. That's a CSR program. So we travel light. We just bring clay, and then we bring underglaze colouring and brushes for them, so that they can make and paint at the same time. They will be like, oh, I can't do it, 很怕，会破吗？会破吗？我做得很难看。Just encourage them, motivate them to do. So after 2 hours, they're very happy. Hey, this is so nice. And then they will compare, 这个不好看，我的比较好看啊。But it really brightens up my life when I see them and then they're so happy. 2 hours ago, they didn't know anything about pottery. 2 hours later, they are so happy with what they made. come in, first thing I do, of course, I change. Then I make myself a coffee. I usually listen to jazz standards here, usually Nat King Cole. The effect I want the studio to have on people is when they walk past, it looks like a dream. And then when they step in, I want them to feel that they are entering my dream. When you make clay objects, you have to have a very clean mind. Really free your mind from whatever is bothering you, which in a way translates to life, I guess. Whatever that you want to do, you just focus for that moment, 100%. Do it nice, do it properly. Once it's done, you can do other things.